1 मार्च 2025 को ऑल इंडिया वैल्यूअर्स एसोसिएशन की तरफ से जो हमारा मंथली वेबिनार होता है वो ऑर्गेनाइज किया जा रहा है। तो मैं इंजीनियर श्री मिश्रा, हमारे जो प्रेसिडेंट हैं ऑल इंडिया वैल्यूअर्स एसोसिएशन के, डॉक्टर इंजीनियर श्याम सुंदर दास, उनसे आग्रह करूंगा कि वेलकम करें हम सभी।
Thanks, Shri. I'd like to welcome all of the members joined here. I'd like to welcome Shri Rashmi Ranjan Rath, who is the principal of Indian Bank Staff College, Kolkata. I'd also like to welcome Mr. Mukesh Kumar Singh. He is basically IITians. He has nothing to do with valuation, but he has prepared how the artificial intelligence will affect on the valuations. So this will be a special topic for him because he has nothing to do with valuation. Still, he will give a good talk to us. We will learn something much better than others. There are some changes in the program schedule. Since Rath has to go to Odisha, actually basically he's from Odisha. He has to go to Odisha in the today evening. So he is not in a position to wait for his to present the certificate application. So the certificate will be presented just before the talk of our chief guest. This will be some reverse way, but we cannot help because he has to go. Then number two, there are some changes. Shri Nirmal Das Mokheja was supposed to introduce our chief speaker, but since his mother has expired and today is the 4th day, so he will not be there. But from Gurgaon, our member Rishabh Mittal will introduce him. So there are some minor changes which we will all cooperate. Now I like to thanks. I like to welcome all of you. I'm sure all will enjoy this topic. This is some special topic which will guide you a lot of. So I'd like to request Shri to proceed further. Shri, सुना नहीं मेरा?
यस सर, थैंक यू सर। अब मैं अपने ऑल इंडिया वैल्यूअर्स एसोसिएशन के वाइस प्रेसिडेंट श्री एम.के. श्रीवास्तव सर से आग्रह करूंगा कि चीफ गेस्ट का इंट्रोडक्शन दे। श्री एम.के. श्रीवास्तव सर।
Thank you, Shri. I've been given the opportunity to introduce Mr. Rath, our chief guest. Mr. Rath is a very eminent person. After completion of his BSc Agriculture and MBA from Odisha, he joined State Seed Certification Agency as Assistant Seed Certification Officer on September 1989 and remained there for a very short period up to December 1991. Thereafter, he joined Allahabad Bank, which is today known as Indian Bank, as Agriculture Field Officer on January 1992, and he worked in various branches as Credit Officer and Branch Head, as Zonal Head, and also served as at Head Office. Right now, he has been posted as Principal at the Indian Bank Staff College, Kolkata. He has very vast experience of about 33 years in banking sector. It was very brief introduction of our chief guest. Now I hand over to Mr. Shri for next proceedings. Shri ji.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच। अब मैं गुजारिश करूंगा अपने चीफ गेस्ट श्री रश्मि रंजन राथ जी से कि हम सभी का उद्बोधन करें। श्री रश्मि रंजन राथ सर।
Thank you very much. Good evening, friends. First of all, I give my utmost thanks to Mr. Das, President of AIVA, and all the members of AIVA for inviting me to this platform as chief guest and providing me the honor to be here. as a banker of more than 33 years experience in banking field, I am always associated with lending decisions as credit officers and also credit officer and also branch head and zonal head. So valuation is an integral part of banking and lending purposes where property valuation is important for making decision in prudent lending to borrowers and keeping the assets at good condition. For that, actually, valuers' role is utmost important, and they are the integral part of banking and lending and for investment institutions. And it is a critical. It helps in critical decision making in process of in case of banking, lending, and investment. And the valuers generally it is manually driven by manually visiting the properties and estimating the value of that building and commercial structures by seeing that property and also estimating the area and all the things and also going through the property records and the valuation in that area, what is the prevalent valuation and also previous sales position from the also registry office. They are taking down the value and also through the market trends. They are analyzing this valuation and also provide that one to bankers for their decision making, lending institutions for their decision making. But often it actually it is time consuming and also that varies from valuer to valuer as per their expertise and also personal biases. So this becomes difficult in case of bankers wherever actually two or more proper valuations are required actually for large value of properties, wherein 2 to 3 valuers report is required, and often it is reported that 2 to 3 other valuers are varied. If actually between the variation is between 10%, then bank accept that valuation, and if the difference is too high, then third independent valuer report is required. For that, actually, this is time consuming and also the lot of investment is required actually from the point of borrowers. So for that reason, now actually technology had advanced and AI has been introduced in almost all sectors where it is important, and also in the valuation sectors, AI is important for analyzing the large records and the trends and also predictive analysis. They perfect valuation for the bankers to improve their decision making and also portfolio management. What differs actually in case of manual valuation, that is time consuming, site visit is required, and also that the reliance on comparable data and the sales market value of that area, and also this is very slow and expensive method, and it also carries appraisers, it varies depending upon the appraiser's expertise and also personal bias. But in case of AI, that is actually it analyzes a vast data, that is and gives the data precision and speed and automation, and also analyze large database including property characteristics, neighborhood trends and economic indicators, and also through computer vision associated with AI that can also analyze the picture or videos of that property and give the details of what is the actually the infrastructure of that building, and also what is the damages occurred in there in the property, and also go there personally and give the actually details, analyze the details, and it gives of through going through the images, it can predict the actually what is the critical insights, so we're providing the critical insight to bankers and valuers. There are many applications associated with AI. These are real-time assessment. It can also, AI can enables instant valuation, and also by processing the historical data and recent transaction and current market trends, and also remote property inspections that will from the images and images, it ensures that without visiting the property, it analyzes the structural condition of that property, and also which areas are rural and inaccessible. In that area also it provides the market value, and also basing on that sales and market value in that area. So this is one thing, and also trend for forecasting by way of that the economic and demographic and market data. It can also provide what is the future trend, and also it can analyze the portfolio management. It helps in portfolio management of the lenders, that actually which properties are underperforming, so that they can part that one and improve their property allocations management, portfolio management. It helps bankers in many ways. Actually, it improves the risk efficiency of the bankers, and also it accelerates the loan processing by way of immediately AI valuations. They can make good decision in lending and processing the proposal, so that the borrower will not go away from the bankers, and that provides a borrower satisfaction, customer satisfaction to the borrowers also, and also it creates a dynamic portfolio management. The lenders can manage their portfolio, like for property mortgage, they can devise product tools or certain products codes that can immediately be accessed and provide the loans to the needy borrowers in time. And in case of valuers also, it provides automatic data collection and analysis. It also speeds their repetitive performance that can be enhanced through by this analysis of big data analysis, and also by way of doing things easier and faster. That way, reducing the time, and valuer can also devote more time to other works also. And at a time, they can if they are handling 5 to 6 valuation at a time, that can be also provided faster and bankers to lenders, so that the decision can be taken easily. So these are the benefits of AI. And actually at present, this will be looked as optional, but in later it is necessary for the lenders and the valuers to adopt the AI models for evaluation, for giving the accuracy, and also future trends, and so that lenders, investors, and property purchasers, they can be always benefited from this. So, no doubt, AI valuation is very much important, but that requires also training and upskill development for the existing valuers and also for the banking staffs to go for it and adopt this solution. Thank you, sir. This is all about actually valuation that I know that one, and think this will provide some insight to users. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर. सर आपको हमारा आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Actually, you will not be part of us till the end of the sessions. Our speaker is there, so I like to request you to represent the certificates which will be displayed in the computer.
Okay.
Series, please. Series.
सर ये ले लीजिए वो ले लीजिए
पीछे आगे कौन सा वो वाला वो
Shri, unmute the Rashmi को.
Yes, sir. This one. Sir.
Yes, sir. So, it's my privilege to honor Shri Rahul Sagwal, guest speaker of this webinar of providing the certificate of appreciation. So, this is to certify that on behalf of IVA, I am presenting this certificate of appreciation. This is to certify that Shri Rahul Sagwal has successfully contributed through his presentation of AI for building valuation in the technical webinar held on 1st March 2025 on behalf of organizing committee, council. I, a principal Indian Bank Staff College, Kolkata, thankfully acknowledge the valuable support and wishes all success in future. Thank you, Mr. Sadu. Congratulations.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice journey to Odisha, sir.
Okay, thank you. So thank you all for providing me a platform.
Sir, in spite of your busy schedule, you are supposed to go to Odisha. You joined us. So on behalf of Association, I would like to-
That's a great honor to me
Actually-
for providing this platform to interact with so many valuers.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for providing us the insights of artificial intelligence in the context of property valuation. अब मैं गुजारिश करूंगा इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इंजीनियर्स के हमारे चेयरमैन डॉक्टर मुकेश कुमार सिंह जी को कि अपना एड्रेस दे.
Thank you, Shri. On behalf of the Institute of Engineers, India, Kanpur Center, I would like to welcome today's chief guest, Shri Rashmi Ranjan Rath. He is from Indian Bank. I would like to welcome IVA President, Engineer Shyam Sundar Das, Vice President, Engineer N.K. Srivastava, and the convener of today's program, Shri. The today's talk that is dedicated to the application of AI for building valuers. That is very much important and relevant also, because AI is penetrating now each and every field of our life. So how the AI can use in the field of valuation? There are a few points like automated valuation models. They are available. So by the application of these models, the valuation can be made easy and efficient. Predictive analytics is also possible with the help of AI, data analysis and pattern recognition. What kind of pattern market is following, or what kind of pattern banks and customers they are following. So AI, the application of AI is you can say fantastic. After the application, there are some benefits which are expected by the valuers as well as the customers and bankers. Like more accurate valuation is possible by the application of AI, then faster valuation, better risk management, more equitable property taxes, better investment decisions, self-improvement capabilities, automated data collection, automated reporting is also possible. It can also enhances the transparency in valuation work, and assessment becomes more objective than ever before. Otherwise, everybody thinks that the valuation is the only subjective assessment. But by the application of AI, it will be more objective and transparent also. So I expect that Engineer Rahul Sagwal will touch all these points during his talk. So on behalf of Institute of Engineers, I would like to welcome today's guest speaker as well as the participants who are joined here from Pan India. So thank you very much.
थैंक यू सो मच सर। अब मैं गुजारिश करूंगा श्री ऋषभ मित्तल जी को कि वो अपने गेस्ट स्पीकर सर का इंट्रोडक्शन दें। श्री ऋषभ मित्तल जी।
Thank you, sir. Sir, Mr. Rahul Sangwan is an associate member of Institution of Engineers India and researcher in the Department of Design at IIT Kanpur. He is a distinguished alumni of NIT Kurukshetra, where he earned his BTech in Electrical Engineering and MTech in Renewable Energy Systems. A recipient of Picasso Award in 2017, he has demonstrated a strong commitment to advancing sustainable energy solutions. He has been professionally associated with JSW Steel Limited, AIC Jaipur, Kolkata College of Engineering and Technology, Greater Noida Institute of Technology, Bhubaneswar, MITS Gwalior. His research interests span renewable energy, integrated power systems, electrical vehicles, sustainable technology, and the application of AI and ML in these areas. Currently, he is a researcher at IIT Kanpur with 8 years of professional and research experience in energy efficient systems, design in AI and ML. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर। अब मैं गुजारिश करूंगा श्री राहुल सागवान जी से, जो कि हमारे गेस्ट स्पीकर हैं, अपने जो टेक्निकल लेक्चर है एआई के ऊपर उसको दें। थैंक यू सर। प्लीज प्रोसीड श्री राहुल सागवान जी।
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rishabh Mittal ji, for the nice introduction. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank All India Valuers Association, Institution Engineers of India, IIT, Kanpur section, and special thanks to SS Das sir ji for inviting me over here amongst such esteemed members of the Valuers Association. So today, let me first share my screen. So today I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence for building valuation. First of all, can you please confirm, is it visible and am I audible?
Yeah, it is visible and you are audible too.
Okay, thank you so much. Just to save on the bandwidth part, I will switch off my video for the time being. That's all. So in this talk, we are going to touch upon some of the basics of artificial intelligence, how the valuation process is done, what are various types of AI, and how AI can be integrated with the valuation process. What are various applications of AI? Some use cases we'll see in the upcoming slides, and how future of AI is going to be changed in property technology, PropTech. And what are the ethical considerations that we must take care of before moving to complete adoption of AI in the evaluation process. So first of all, what is valuation? Valuation is basically you are already aware about this part, so I'll just briefly touch upon it. So valuation is basically a process of estimating the market value of any building, any property, which is very much crucial for taking such decisions like lending, investment, and taxation and sales. So whenever some valuation is required to be done for a building, so these are the two pillars which we rely upon. One is valuers and other is bankers basically. So valuers are the professionals who assesses the property value, and bankers they are the financial experts which are going to assess the value for loans and credit decisions. So traditionally, what happens? All these valuation part is done manually, and manual methods they involves such as comparing the prices with different properties which are of similar kind. For example, if the building valuation is to be done for a residential building, so what are various residential buildings existing in the same area, same locality? What are the rates of that? What are the prices of that? And they have to take care of a large number of factors before coming to the final value of the building. So all this requires them to visit the property physically first of all. So that itself is a very much time consuming task. They have to physically go there and check everything. One thing. Secondly, they have to collect a lot of data from the local market trends, from the regional factors that they have to include. And from the historical factors also, what has been the previous sales of the buildings in that particular locality. They have to consider all these factors, and then they have to compute what is the final value for that particular building. So these are the traditional methods. In the upcoming slides, we are going to see how AI or machine learning algorithms can make this process a little bit faster, a little bit more efficient, and can help in the daily life of valuers and bankers. So that we'll try to cover in the upcoming slides. So first, what is artificial intelligence? So when we talk about artificial intelligence, the first person that comes into mind is Alan Turing, which in 1950 he proposed this Turing test. What was this Turing test? It was basically to evaluate a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior. How much of intelligence can a machine exhibit? That was evaluated in this Turing test. He was the first person to start all this concept. But this term artificial intelligence, this was given by John McCarthy in 1955 or 56. So he was the first person who used artificial intelligence or AI, and he defined this term as AI is the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. So as per the definition, so basically they tried to make the machines more and more intelligent, so that they can act just similar to humans, how we are taking decisions, how we are doing the tasks. So they were trying to imitate that process for the machines. So that is AI. So whenever we talk about AI, a lot of terms come into mind: AI, ML, deep learning. So we listen to these terms everywhere. They are correlated. So AI is the whole basket under which machine learning is a part of AI, and deep learning is further a part of machine learning. So that is a specific targeted discipline, deep learning. So what is AI? AI is basically ability of machine to imitate or duplicate human intelligence. That is AI. So machine learning kya hai? What is machine learning? Machine learning is basically algorithms. Based upon these algorithms, we try to make the machine intelligent. Okay, so deep learning, what is deep learning? Deep learning again is various algorithms which are based upon neural networks. So we use neural networks to train some models, and we assign some tasks to that particular model, and based upon the task he does it. And it involves a lot of data for the training of the model. First of all, once the model is trained, then only the model can be used for making predictions or doing a particular assigned task on a test data also, or a new data also, based upon which we can make certain predictions, how how the market is going to change, how the valuation of the building is going to change in the near future. All that can be done based on these algorithms. So, broadly speaking, artificial intelligence is of these 2 or 3 types: narrow AI versus general AI. When we talk about general AI is flexible and able to execute a different number of tasks. So, general AI is, designed to do almost everything, every task it can do. Whereas narrow AI is designed for a specific task. So it is trained on a specific data set to do something in specific itself. So narrow AI includes examples such as Google Search, ChatGPT, face and image recognition software, self-driving cars. They have to do just one task or some specific task. For instance, self-driving cars, they have to move forward in a particular direction. That is their ultimate goal. But on the other hand, when we talk about general AI, so general AI is also known as strong AI or human level AI. That is considered as comparable to the human intelligence. So here their task can be generic in nature, just like human beings. So next comes super intelligent AI. At present, we are at the level of narrow AI or general AI, but in the coming days, we might see super intelligent AI also. That is a theoretical future AI which will surpass human intelligence also. So general AI can be programmed to continuously learn and teach itself. On the other hand, narrow AI, it does a specific task, whichever we have designed it for. So when we talk about evolution of AI, so this slide summarizes the entire history of AI. So first of all, as we already discussed, Turing test that was done in 1950. Then AI term was coined in 1955 by John McCarthy. Then in 1961, Unimate first industrial robot was made. And nowadays we talk about ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is not a new concept. These chatbots existed back in history also. For example, this Eliza in 1964. This was the first chatbot which was designed at MIT. Furthermore, there have been several innovations in AI. Deep Blue was there, Kismet was there, AIBO was there. AIBO was basically first consumer robot pet dog. And then vacuum cleaner we have already seen at several foreign locations in videos and all. Roomba, for example, in 2002 was created. That is vacuum cleaner which utilizes AI to scan the entire room, scan the entire area which it has to clean the floor. It creates a virtual map inside it and saves this map in its memory, and based upon the memory, then it cleans the area. So that is it. 2011 Siri was designed, Apple's voice or virtual assistant we can say. 2011 Watson was there from IBM. 2014 Eugene was there. Eugene basically the judges were not able to differentiate whether some AI is there or some human is responding to their questions. So that was created in 2014. 2014 Alexa came, then Tay, then AlphaGo. All these innovations have been happening, down the history line. Now from 2017 onwards, there came LLMs. LLMs are basically large language models. Based upon all these ChatGPT, different companies are there basically which are working upon LLMs. Google is working upon them. OpenAI's ChatGPT is there. Meta or Facebook companies Llama model is there. Then cloud model is there. All these innovations which we are currently seeing, which is responsible for generative AI basically that we talk about nowadays. Those are based upon these LLM models. So in the upcoming slides, we'll discuss how they work also. So coming to this slide, so this discusses about types of learning in AI. So there can be different type of processes through which we train our models. One such is supervised machine learning. So what happens in supervised machine learning is as the name suggests. So basically we'll have some input data, input raw data. As you can see in this diagram, in this figure also, some animals are there, right? So this is labeled data. So we'll be labeling them as elephant, as cow or camel. So first of all, some training data set is created, which is basically some part of this data. We are not going to use the entire data at first. Rather, we divide the data set into two parts, training data and then the testing data. So based upon training data, we'll be training our model, or we'll be creating our algorithm basically. So what happens while we train the data, there exists one supervisor, which depending upon the label, will be matching the inputs with the right output. Let's say, just to say it in a simpler terms, let's say that data is any random animal from here. It can be an elephant, it can be a cow, it can be a camel, right? So during the training process, this supervisor will train the model. It will tell the model that this one is elephant, this one is camel, this one is cow. So once the training is done, then on the right side you can see under this processing part, we are again sending some unknown data. So now this data is the testing data, which is not already known to the algorithm or training model. Rather, this is the new data. So it can be any of these three animals, right? So based upon the training, it will then formulate these outputs. It will then automatically tell that, okay, this particular animal is elephant, this particular animal is camel, and this particular animal is cow. So like that, the entire process will be happening. So this type of learning is called as supervised learning, where some supervisor is there. He is going to assist based upon the labeling of the data. So examples of these supervised machine learning models include regression is there, which is excessively used in predicting house prices. So based upon the size, based upon the how many rooms are there, how many bedrooms are there, how many bathrooms are there, what is the floor size area of the house, like that, what is the location, what are the different amenities that are present in the vicinity of the building. So based upon all those factors, it will then predict the value of that particular house. So like that, it can function. Similarly, forecasting of electricity demand or EV adoption rate, we can forecast like in 2030 how much EV will be adopted by the people of India. Like that, all these studies can be done based upon supervised machine learning. Another example is classification. So email spam detection is one very good example. You are receiving a lot number of emails in your email box, and there are several categories inside the inbox, right? Some can be spam, some can be primary emails, some can be promotional emails also, right? So machine learning is acting on the back end of that particular system. So it automatically categorizes it, and then creates a separate folder for the promotional emails, all the advertisement, and all those you used your credit card or such bundle of emails which are similar. They will be grouped together in one folder. So that is happening based upon the classification. Image classification is also there, like we can identify which is cat, which is dog, and accordingly the training can be done. Right. Moving forward, next type of machine learning is unsupervised machine learning. So unlike the previous one, here we are not having any supervisor. Here the data is not labeled, rather it is unlabeled data. While in the training process itself, we are going to just feed random data to it, and it based upon the similarity, it will group together all the elephants, it will group together all the camels, it will group together all the cows. So that is how unsupervised machine learning is going to work, and the algorithm will be trained based upon the data itself. So such type of machine learning is used in clustering process wherever we need to group together various elements which are having similar characteristics. So that kind of function can be done by this. For example, in regards to valuation process, let's say a lot of data is there, and we want to focus just upon the residential buildings. So based upon the data, similar features of the data, it will group together all the residential buildings in one folder and all the industrial buildings in a separate folder. And depending upon that, we can filter out the required data. Let's say for some particular project, we are going to focus only on the residential buildings, then it will filter out the rest of the building and provide the relevant data. So that is how we can use this type of machine learning in our case studies. The next type of machine learning is reinforcement machine learning. So what happens in this is basically there are different AI agents which are going to take some action. We are going to provide them some data. Based upon the data, they will take some action. It will go to the environment and some type of reward will be there. If the action is correct, we'll give it like a good action and we'll provide some reward. If the action is incorrect, we'll say no, it was a bad action and we'll provide it some penalty. So based upon the penalty or reward, the model will keep on training, right? Once the training is done, then it can function on the new data also. So in a simpler term, we can understand this model through this picture. Let's say there is one child which is doing some activity for the first time. Now the child himself doesn't know whether or not it's a good activity or not. So it's the duty of guardians or parents. They will provide some sort of feedback to it, whether the activity is good, okay, you did well, very good. So the child kind of builds a learning from that feedback. Like if I am going to repeat such an action in the future, I'll be provided some reward. It can be appreciation, it can be some chocolates, or it can be any form of reward, right? On the other hand, if he breaks a glass bottle or something, then we kind of scold him or provide some corrective measures, right? So accordingly, he will understand like this behavior is not to be repeated in the future because I'm getting some sort of penalty for this. So like that, this type of machine learning process works. So this is called reinforcement machine learning, and very good example of it is robotics. So in almost all of the robotics, major robotics, wherever navigation is involved, so this is used. You might have observed in some of the very smart factories or smart warehouses, automatic vehicles, automatic forklifting kind of machines are there. Those robots are there. They automatically navigate inside the factory area or inside the warehouse area. Let's say some particular parcel or some particular raw material they are going to pick from one location, and then they are going to put it at a specified location wherever that particular material needs to be kept. Right. So they have that algorithm inside them, which is guiding them. Like if there is some obstacle in front of them, then they are going to stop. They are not going to hit some person acting, some person which is working there. Rather, they will kind of wait or take a separate route. Right, like that they will navigate. So this navigation type of robots which are being used in the warehouses, they are working upon based upon this type of learning. Robotics arms are there, and they are also working on this principle itself. So when we talk about ML algorithms, there are a lot of algorithms actually, and based upon them, different type of machine learning models are there. So types of machine learning algorithms, it can be supervised as we already discussed. So under supervised, there are regression type of machine learning models, there are decision tree, random forest, classification models are there, which involves KNN, support vector machine, SVM, naive Bayes, logistic regression and trees. Similarly, unsupervised learning, they involve clustering and association analysis. Reinforcement learning is also there. So this is the classification, broad classification of all the models. Now moving forward, here this slide represents application of such models. Like if we start from the left, classification models, they can be used for fraud detection, email spam detection, diagnostics of the various systems, image classification. All such classification applications are summarized under classification. Then regression can be used in risk assessment, score prediction, like that. And under the second heading, unsupervised machine learning, dimensionality reduction can be there. Now the dataset can be, a huge dimensional dataset can be there. To reduce the dimensions of that particular matrix, and so that the computation process becomes simplified. For that purpose, dimensionality reduction can be there. So this is applied under face recognition, big data visualization, image recognition, all this. Then clustering is there, biology, city planning, targeted marketing, all these are based upon clustering. Then comes reinforcement machine learning, which is used in these industries: gaming, finance sector, manufacturing, inventory management, robot navigation. So inventory management is basically what are the available spare parts kept inside the warehouse, whichever product is being sold out at a faster rate. So based upon that, the inventory can be managed in advance, right? So the system itself will automatically provide some sort of notification that we are in near future we are going to be stocked out on this particular item. So we can purchase that in advance and can keep in our inventory. So like that. Similarly, some more applications are listed under this. Nowadays, you might have observed in your mobile phones also. Let's say you are using Netflix or Spotify or some other platform to watch movies. So whenever you log into that platform, it kind of, based upon the machine learning algorithms, it observes user behavior. So which type of movies or sports shows you watch very frequently. So based upon that, it will give more and more suggestions of the similar movies or similar games. Like if you watch cricket a lot, so in your recommendations, you'll see a lot of cricket matches are being recommended to you, suggested to you to watch in the future. Like that, this recommendation system works. Same thing you might have observed while shopping online also. Let's say you are ordering something from Amazon, and or even not even ordering, you're just window shopping. You searched for one product. Let's say you want to purchase some laptop, and next thing you observe, like everywhere in advertisements, a lot of laptops are being shown to you. You log in to your Gmail account, and on the left side or on any other website also, you will see some advertisements are there, and all the advertisements will start to be being recommended based upon your search history. So that sort of thing is happening in our daily life also, and all this is happening because of these machine learning algorithms. Right? So now to observe the trend which is happening in AI sector. So initially, first AI boom came, then second AI boom came, and now we are moving towards third AI boom, which is happening in terms of generative AI. So what is generative AI? Generative AI, basically we generate the content. It can be text, it can be image, it can be music, it can be code also, right? So generative AI models, they are based upon transformers. These transformers are different from our electrical transformers, which are used in the power sector. They are separate. These transformers are basically neural network models only, a special kind of neural network models. So we train them first. So then we provide them some sort of input prompt. So based upon our input prompt, they generate some sort of data. So what happened back in 2017? So basically this paper came into picture. It was published by some researcher, Vaswani, and co-authors of him. So the paper was Attention is All You Need. So back then they worked upon these transformer models, and these transformer models, they have some speciality, which is self-attention mechanism. Based upon this self-attention mechanism, it can provide some weightage to the input data, which is important, which is less important, like that. So it can provide weightage, right? It can provide attention, and based upon that, the results which it predicted, they were having more accuracy, Right. So based upon that, if we compare it with our human performance, so after 2017 onwards, the models are having better performance as compared to humans. Earlier AI systems, they were not as good as humans, but nowadays, whether you talk about handwriting recognition, image recognition, speech recognition, or reading comprehension, all these models now are performing better than humans. That is all because of these particular type of neural networks, which are transformers. So how transformers work? So not going into very much in-depth technicality of it, but broadly speaking, so basically it creates token. Whatever input we have provided, it will create some tokens of it, and which token are correlated, that information it will say. For example, if we read this sentence, which is written on this slide on the right side, I poured water from the pitcher into the cup until it was full, and I poured water from the pitcher into the cup until it was empty. Now, there are two it, if you look closely. First, it is being referred to this cup, and second, it is referring to pitcher, right? So nowadays models are so good, they can understand this information, which earlier was only was able for the humans only, but now these models can associate this information effectively. So this it is different, it is associated with cup, and second it is associated with pitcher. So this kind of information, now these transformer models, they can differentiate effectively. So some applications are listed in this slide for generative AI. So in various fields nowadays, people are using Gen AI. Content creation is there on social media. Whatever content you are seeing, script of that can be written by ChatGPT. Product innovation is happening. Data analysis being done. Personalized marketing is happening, as we already talked about that example. Recommendation system. Software engineering, virtual support, financial forecasting, medical insights, language translation, artistic endeavors. All these areas, these are now using generative AI. Some more daily life examples are content creation, customer support. So for customer support nowadays, almost every website is using chatbots. Code writing, we need not be an expert in coding. Let's say you want to create your own website for your firm, so that is nowadays very much possible with the use of Gen AI. So you just provide prompts in a very effective manner, and then it will create the code and it will publish your website also. So learning assistant, let's say some valuer is new at his job and is taking some valuation decisions, and to assist him in his learning part also, he can use Gen AI. So he can this machine learning model which will take information, let's say similar type of buildings, they are having a lot of data, machine learning model. So based upon the training, it can give suggestion to the to some person who is new in this profession and help them better. So that sort of thing can be done. Some of the examples are kind of repeating here. So let's just move to that. Gen AI in daily life. Nowadays Gen AI is helping in design part also. So it can provide solutions to the problems which were earlier overlooked. Let's say on the right side you are seeing this water bottle. So many times it happens like you go to a water cooler and you try to fill your bottle from the water cooler, but the height of the tap is not at a very good level, and you might have to incline your water bottle to fill it, and some of the water is going inside the bottle, some is spilling out. That sort of problem was there. So effectively this design can work very well under such scenarios, right? Similarly nowadays food packaging is also getting evolved. So you're looking at this, you might be looking at this picture where biscuits are packed in a different packaging design. So let's say you want to go to some hiking or trekking in the hills. You want to purchase some shoes, but under a normal shopping mall, you might not test them because there are not the terrain is not there. The terrain which you might find in the hills, which you will be using your shoes at, that is not available in the city, right? So that problem is now solved at many of the places. Like they inside the mall, inside the shopping complex itself, they kind of create these stony terrains and slippery and all sort of these things, where the customer will be able to test their shoes at such an environment which they are going to use it in actuality, right? So these are some of the examples. Solutions like these can be generated by Gen AI models also. Traditional valuation process. Now, if we talk about limitations of it, first of all, a huge data has to be collected. Based upon that, we can study the market trends, how the market is behaving now. Are the prices going up? Are the prices going down? So we have to basically inspect the property. Report. We have to generate a lot of report. The entire process can be time consuming, and subjectivity is also there, dependence on individual expertise. Some of the experts might be already involved in one or two of the projects, and they are not able to give time to a new project. That sort of situation can also happen. In such scenarios, AI can play a huge role. It can give suggestions to the less experienced valuers also, based upon the data, and it can analyze a huge amount of data, and based upon that, in very less time, it can give some very good suggestions, and it can generate the valuation reports also. So that is it. So now if we merge AI and real estate, so integration part, if you look at, there are various stakeholders, financial institutions are there, real estate agents are there, buyers are there, investors are there, right? Vendors are there, bankers are there. They are more or less covered in financial institutions. So first step is data collection itself. First of all, we need to go into public records, localized trends, geographic data of the that particular property sales history, year of build, ex SSL's value, sales history of similar properties, various features of the property, how many bedrooms are there, what is the floor area, what is the tenure, previous owner details, why he sold, unique features can be there, nearest transportation station, there can be a train station very near to it, there can be a school nearby, there can be a parking facility, or it might not have a parking facility. All such features, they can affect the valuation of the property, right? So all this has to be otherwise done manually, or else once the some of these data are input, based upon the correlation, it can compare with other such properties in the same locality, and it can give a suggestive value of the building. So that can be done. And from there onwards, the real valuers can take charge. Like it can save time and it can help them in their process. So financial institutions, they need to take some critical decisions about mortgage lending, especially underwriting processes there, right? Before the loan, they have to assess how much risk is involved. So risk management and risk mitigation has to be done. From investors' point of view, portfolio has to be analyzed and managed. They need to optimize their investment strategies, make informed decisions, right? From real estate agent point of view, they have to determine appropriate sale prices, understand market trend, analyze plots, informed decisions have to be taken. Right, there can be some remote site inspection, future value projections also. From buyer's point of view, let's say I am the buyer and I am new to the market. I am not trusting a local valuer, let's say, for that matter. I just want to have some sort of prior information like this is the price range, this is the valuation range, right? So that can be done by AI, and then the real person can meet and then can take over. So all sort of those things can be done with the help of AI. and this can, in a way, help in the AI property appraisal process. So all the process can be then automated. Now coming to AI integration, so AI use cases in real estate involve automated property management, architectural design, planning and recommendations, construction sites, safety and monitoring. So computer vision comes into picture here. We'll see in the next slide also how AI can help in construction sites safety analysis. Interior design planning can be done. Nowadays virtual reality is there, VR and AR, augmented reality. So those devices can be used at the site, and they can virtually show to the customer, like after completion of the project, your interior design would look something of this sort. It will look like this, and based upon that, even customer can have a better idea. Like this is my floor size, this is my room size, and this is my wall size. At this wall, this much dimensional would be occupied by TV cabinet. This much would be occupied some sort of different design, like that, right? So AI can help in that process also. On the left, automated property inspections and valuation model, construction company management software, and personalized property recommendation solutions. So all these are the use cases of AI. Now, comparing the process. So what is going to change? Some part of it is still going to be there as it is. Some would be kind of modified. So traditional process requires a lot of site visits, repeated visits might be happening, physical inspection. On the contrary, in AI-driven valuation system, these number of visits can be reduced. Like at the site, somebody else can take pictures or images or videos, and those can be processed by computer vision software, and that can give some sort of suggestions. And based upon that, the real valuer can decide whether or not it is essential to go there, or he can have a better idea of the whole scenario. Appraisals, they gather data from a lot of sources manually in the traditional system. So this all data analysis part can be speed forward by AI-driven valuation process. It has the capability to analyze a huge data set in very small amount of time, and you can better filter out also. In manual system, you need to go through a lot of files. Let's say you just want records to check the reports of residential building, for that matter. In AI-driven system, you just need to select some of the buttons, and immediately the filter will go like that. So our overall comparison says AI-driven system would be in a way faster than the traditional system. Secondly, in traditional system, a human factor is involved, and as a human, we are prone to making some of the errors. It might be while noting down some numerical figures or amounts, let's say some error is done. That is always possible, right? So that can be reduced. So human error can be reduced, and human bias can be reduced. As a human, I might favor somebody, right? We are just humans. It's inculcated in our head. So that those kind of human error and human bias can be reduced by AI system. Valuations in the traditional part, they often vary depending upon appraiser's expertise and judgment. So that is also kind of taken care of AI-driven valuation system, and it offers more accurate and timely insights. So now coming to use cases, mortgage lending is there. Overall process can be streamlined by integrating AI. Real estate investment portfolio management is there. It can provide a web screen kind of user interface also, where valuers and bankers, they can look at the portfolio in a better way. How much risk is associated with which property, and they can accordingly take better decisions. Underwriting process, they can better analyze the risk involved with the property. As the AI system will go through its historical data also, it might happen like it comes up with some unique feature also, like some sort of this feature is associated with this property, and accordingly the valuer or banker while doing the underwriting process, they can make better decisions while giving loans and all that. So overall data-driven decision making and predictive analytics can be. So now coming to the benefits of it. So basically the overall process can be automated. It will minimize the time and cost that is required, as the number of physical inspections, those visits will be reduced. So overall cost can also be minimized. Overall optimization of the whole process can happen from this. The professionals would be able to prioritize properties also, which is accordingly they can focus upon some project which is having higher priority at first, and then they can take care of the rest of the projects also. Expedite decisions, streamline appeals, so it can streamline the appraisals and appeal process part also. It can enhance data quality. It can automatically appraise. So let's say you have some sort of similar batches are coming. They are already being appraised by you in the past, so it can analyze the past data and can take some sort of decisions, or at least can give you some pop-up like this is the overall analysis which I have done, and now the final decision is with you. Optimize valuation outcomes. So on the left you are seeing some construction site and some workers are working there. So based upon the computer vision, you can send these images and it can detect like which of the workers are wearing helmet or not, whether they are wearing safety belt or not. So how much risk is involved at the site. So that can also be highlighted. As you can see in the red, the person is not wearing a safety helmet. Right. So it will pop up to your system and accordingly it will give you some sort of notification. So AI for bankers, to summarize whatever we have discussed so far, it will accelerate loan processing, improve risk management, dynamic portfolio management will be there. Fraud detection and prevention can happen. So under fraud detection, basically we use unsupervised machine learning. Let's say somebody is using credit card. In a monthly statement, it can identify like this particular transaction is a bit different from rest of the transactions, and immediately it will give some notification to the bankers, and they can detect the fraud. Market trend forecasting can be done. Personalized client services can be done. Enhanced regulatory compliance, scenario-based simulations. All these can be done for the bankers. And for valuers, it can automate data collection and analysis. Consistent and objective valuations can be done. Why do we say consistent? Because when humans are involved, it might happen that for the similar property, some valuers are giving some different value and some others are giving some different valuation. For some similar features, it will give you, AI-based system will give you consistent results. Some remote property inspection can be done either through camera, photos taken from mobile, or some drones can be used wherever the human is not able to go there. For instance, let's say at some very high height, there is some pillar or something, some structural feature you need to analyze. You need to monitor the condition of that particular beam, whether or not there are cracks or not. So that can be done through a drone. You can fly the drone there and it can take pictures, and AI will detect whether or not there are cracks. In that way, it will help the valuers also. Incorporation of environmental and sustainability matrices enhances valuation accuracy with market insights. So it analyzes the historical data also, as well as the present trend of the market also. So it streamlines report generation. The overall report generation can be, the process can be enhanced by using AI. It provides future value projections, supports complex valuation scenarios, reduces operational costs, help in training and skill enhancement. So now coming to the ChatGPT example. So what happens behind these engines is at the end they are only neural network models, or some algorithms are working, right? So let's say I am providing some very basic prompt. Write a blog post about best books for small business owners to read. It should be about 1,000 words long. So it's a very generic prompt. So if the prompt is basic, even the output would be basic. It will give some generic introduction. It will give some some book suggestions. Let's say it is giving this book suggestion by Michael Gerber. It might not be the first book that the person would recommend, right? So it all depends how good you are providing the prompt to it. Accordingly, it will give you better results. And Gen AI can be used for overall portfolio management also, or you can say overall, desktop interaction also. Like in this particular case, you can have a idea of whichever property appraisals are pending, which needs to be transferred, what are the tax billing and collection, everything that you are working upon, all that can be shown here, and some forecasting whichever is happening in the AI model for the valuation, that will be visible at your desktop. Now, coming to the prompt writing, which I was talking about. So, if we divide it in three methods, then effectively we can provide a better prompt to the generative AI engine. Like we need to provide some context and goal rather than giving a simple prompt. For example, here, give me a plan to get in shape. Let's say I want to work out and want to get in shape. So it's very less words. It's very generic statement. So if we want to have a better plan, then we need to provide a better input also, first of all. Right? We need to provide some goal, some context. Like I am a beginner runner who has never run a 5 kilometer before. So we are providing a context to it, and then it will understand our situation better and give you a customized result output to us. We can assign a role or task or instruction to it. Like I am assigning, like you are a world class trainer who specializes in helping new runners. I am assigning it a role of trainer who is already experienced. Then it will create, a plan for running or a fitness plan basically, which will be better effective. Right? Then chain of thought can be there. Create a plan to prepare a new runner for their first marathon. Like I am assigning the goal. I'm at the end going to run for some marathon, and you need to create some plan. And as much as information will provide to it, then it will give a better result to us. Now, in our context for the valuer and bankers, we can provide prompts to such generative AI engines, for example, ChatGPT. Let's say some valuer wants to create some valuation process plans. So I can provide a detailed prompt to it, like I am going to an industrial site where my ultimate focus would be to inspect for structural condition monitoring or some that sort of thing. Right. Then I can provide more and more details to it. What is the building size? What is the area? What is the locality? All those sort of details I can provide to it, and then it will create a very much detailed plan for me. Like first you have to do this, then you have to follow this, then you have to do this. In that way, it can help the beginners also who are very at the early stage of their profession. So next gen AI example is we can create not just text, we can create images also. One such example is Delhi. It can create such artistic images also. It can create cartoons, animation, that kind of images also. You just need to write the text, which is called prompt, and then you can generate from it. Now coming to the overall interface, how the overall interface would help the valuers. So property appraisal part, for that, let's say it can save all the residential buildings which are there in the neighborhood. So every detail it will save in your database, like how many bedrooms are there, 5, 5, 5, 5, how many baths are there, how many acreage, how many acre coverage area is there, whether or not there is pool, what is the condition, all that, sale price, everything. So it will incorporate all the features of these buildings, and based upon this, it will suggest you some valuation also, and the desktop would give you whatever pending appraisals are there which you have not done yet. So they will appear, they might appear on the top of it. So that sort of thing can happen. And similarly for the industrial building also, which is shown on the right. And based upon all these factors, it will at the end give you some adjusted value. Appeal management. Here all the appeals are there. Their priority are marked high, low, medium, whether or not they are approved or whether they are pending, whether the decision is denied. All those details would appear here, and year-wise data can be maintained. 2021, 22, 23, whatever appeal forecast is there for the projected value, they will appear in the 26 or 27 or 28, like that, they will appear in the system. Similarly, for building code compliance also, whether or not they are complying with the regulations. If not, they will accordingly come up to your system, and based upon that you can either approve or reject. Similarly, for the mortgage and lending part also. So, what are the properties that are at higher risk? The risk properties, 70% risk, 30% risk, like that. Every such detail would appear in the system. And the location of or locality of the buildings can appear in the map. Now, this example I have taken from a foreign website. So, basically for the USA it is showing. That's why even the prices are shown in dollars. Location search. And then when it comes to generating the overall report, you can basically select whatever details you want to include, which format you want to generate your report in, whether PDF or Excel or like that. So property characteristics you want to include, appraisal date you want to include, sale comps, description, GIS data, basically geographic data, location data, data summary grid. So all that can be done, and then it will give a very beautiful report automatically. Portfolio management can be done, like what are the various property or various agencies involved, and which are at high risk. Overall portfolio distribution versus time. In December month, this much was the valuation, this much in January, in February, like that, everything will appear in the desktop. So we have seen the picture. So now what comes next? So future of AI when it comes to PropTech. So basically predictive analytics that will come to the forward. The fusion of AI with IoT will happen, Internet of Things. Nowadays, Internet of Thing devices are everywhere, like Alexa in the houses. They are making the buildings smarter and smarter. Right, so these IoT devices, they have some sort of sensors and voice recognition and those technologies, and then they help the user make their life easier, I would say. Furthermore, virtual reality and digital twin, when these are paired with AI, they will offer immersive property tools. Like you are sitting in your office, but you will feel like you are at the site by utilizing these technologies. Risk mitigation would happen in a better way in the coming days. Automated transactions can be enabled. Sustainability insights can be involved while designing or planning stage itself. So these will come up. But before moving to the AI entirely, there exist several challenges also, like data privacy and security. These models, they entirely depend upon the training data. If the data itself is corrupted, let's say, then the model would be trained very badly and it will give false predictions. That can happen, right? Such scenarios we need to take care of. And hallucination can happen. What is hallucination? Basically, let's say in the data, while training of the model itself, let's say some of the statements are very confident statements, but they are not true. Let's say, for instance, if I keep on training the model with 2 plus 2 is 5, 2 plus 2 is 5, like at several locations the model is seeing this statement, then AI is not having that power, whether or not it is true. Because it is at the end depending upon the training data. Then it will be trained like that only and it will make false predictions. Deep fake is happening, fake news is being circulated. So those challenges are there. So solution is we need to responsibly use AI. Prompt engineering we need to master, how we are providing the prompts. And in future we'll see RLHF also, reinforcement learning from human feedback. let's say I'm giving some prompt to the system, and as of now, it is just simply giving some output to me. It is not having any human empathy in it, right? But if we, include RLHF, then AI will generate more empathetic and helpful responses. Like, for example, in this example, if I am saying like something, can you help me understand why my internet is slow? Then initially AI outputs were like restart your router and check your connection. It might be due to congestion or hardware issue like that. It's not empathetic at all. But after inclusion of RLHF, then it will provide some empathetic responses. Like slow internet can be frustrating. Let's try some troubleshooting steps together. First, have you restarted your router? Something of this. So that is going to come up in the near future. So thank you very much for your time and attention. So that is all from my side. I hope in some way I might have been useful to you. And this is our team at MedTech ID. These are my contact details. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू हम लोगों को एआई के बारे में इतना कुछ बताने के लिए. And now the stage is for all the valuers to discuss about the artificial intelligence and the related topic. If anyone have any question, then please ask.
Good afternoon. I have Ranjan from Kolkata. I have one question, several questions, but one question comes into my mind first. A very good presentation, and I want to know what is Alexa. There is something more about Alexa.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, actually, Alexa is a device which we use in our houses also. That is basically a speaker sort of device which is powered by AI, which is related to Amazon. Let's say if I want to play some music and all, I can virtually just say to it, Alexa, play some music, and it will start playing music. Now I want some customization, play only Bengali music, then it will play only Bengali music. If I have already linked it with my Amazon account, then I can say to it like, I'm running out of milk, order some milk for me. Then it is having those features also. That is how AI has powered that particular device. So Alexa is basically a speaker and a smart device, I would say, that can be purchased and can be used.
How much it cost?
Sir, depending upon different models, different versions, some previous older versions I think would be somewhere around 3 to 4,000. Newer versions would be somewhere around 5 or 5.5, like that.
Okay. Okay, so could you tell me some AI apps like real estate AI apps which gives me all the information data of the property.
Okay. Sir, if you want to have some text, that kind of information related to valuation or any other field for that matter, then ChatGPT is the very good option. That is an app also you can download in your phone or directly go to the browser and you can open their website also. ChatGPT is one. Secondly, for this entire desktop kind of interface which I have shown in my slides, in the slide itself I have provided the link also. You can go to that link and it will take you to that website. So I hope these slides will be shared with you in the group and you can go.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice talk, sir. I like to ask one question.
Ji sir.
Actually, what the finance system, bank gives bank sanctions the loans and borrower takes it. That is, the bank is the first party and borrower the second party, and value the third party. So bank get the valuation, property valuation done through the valuer. In case of any legal point, valuers become responsible. Now, when we are talking about inspecting the property by some AI means, say by drones all these things. It will, I think, it will, the project will very much. That is the expenditure to be done by the valuer will not. Whether it is feasible for a valuer to do all these things by purchasing all these things. And number two, sir, one more question. Is there any chances that bank, without taking the help of valuers and taking the help of AI, will work out the value of the property independently? In such a case, there will no role of the valuer in future. I am telling to when AI is coming, what is the future of the valuers?
Okay, sir. Sir, coming to the first part, sir, actually nowadays technology is very much evolved. So those drones and all, they don't cost very much. Even at the weddings also, you might have observed a lot of photographers use the drones. And if we talk about a very basic drone, it comes hardly at 1500 or something like that. It comes with very good video quality and all that, and it can be purchased by everybody. And if we go for the very good quality drones also, then I would say it would be a one-time investment kind of a thing, which can be so that is one. And so we will not coming to your second point, which is about future of valuers and whether AI would replace them or not. So all these machine learning models and AI.
अब आधे घंटे की रह गई मुश्किल से आधे घंटे की भी नहीं रह गई अभी 6 बजे शुरू हो गई
नीता मैम आपका माइक ऑन है thank you so yeah, coming to your second question, sir, about whether or not AI would replace, I would say all these machine learning engines, one thing is they are already very much dependent upon data. There can be, it might happen like our data set itself is not very good, then the AI engine would not perform that well. So intervention of expertise like valuers and bankers is always needed. One. Secondly, AI is not going to replace them because that ethical factor is, or I would say empathetical factor is not there. We humans have empathy. We can differentiate whether one project, how this project is different from the previous one. But to AI engine, because all the features are almost similar, it might treat it as very much similar and can give like same valuation for it. But as a human being, we might have taken care of some empathy also, like this is associated with the owner of, this is the situation of the owner for that property, and accordingly we can make decisions. So that is also there. So AI is not going to replace valuers and bankers. Rather, it is going to help us. It can be used in an effective way so that our process becomes streamlined. Like some repeated tasks are there. We need to create some reports have to be generated. We need to go through a lot of files to get some information. So those tasks can be automated by using AI, and it will give very quick answers to us. So that way it will help the valuers.
One thing
I hope that I have kind of answered here. Yes.
One thing I'd like to ask: if the whether the drone can operate some distance of 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers, actually the valuers do the inspection ranging from the 50 to 100 kilometers. So whether the drones will be in a position to inspect all the property within this radial area?
No, sir. I don't think at present the drones they are having that much range. The range would be lesser. I would say it can be used at sites like some part is at very much height and we are not able to reach there. Then we can use the drone. But 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers, that much distance range they are not having. Or maybe some different technology might be used for that. But at present, normal drones which are available on the websites and all, they're not having that range. So they need to be closely operated.
So the drones can give us the physical measurement also, as well as nature of building, how the building has been constructed, and who is residing in the building, and what is the longitude, yes. All these things the drone can.
So that sort of information, which side the building is facing, what is the locality of the building, how many windows are there, how many floors are there. These basic information can be taken.
What is the boundaries north, south, east, west, surrounding the building? That also
Yes,
don't
yes,
give.
sir. Right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Rahul, this is Shogato. Good evening. It was an excellent and very user-friendly discussions on your presentation on this AI service valuation. I have two small questions. One is very basic question. First of all, that is that what we are talking about, all the technologies, all these things are basically the bottom line is language is English. And what is that? That the first country like India, let us talk about our country context, that it is geographically located in having multiple languages. So my question is that अभी कोई जो काम चल रहा है उसमें मल्टी लैंग्वेज रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस में भी कि लोग बाग उस पे यूज कर सकते हैं, ऐसा काम चल रहा है क्या?
Yes, that is there, sir. If you like, language translation is very much possible in these AI engines. When we talk about LLM or natural language processing models, they are based upon this factor itself. So you are right. Predominantly, they are based upon English, but yes, this language translation feature is there in most of these. So regional languages are also covered most of these. Malayalam is there, Hindi is there, Bengali is there. Like all the famous languages are there, as well as international language translation. Like if somebody is not familiar with Chinese, you can just take a picture of it, use the language translation model, and it will show you to the in the English or whichever language you prefer. So that features are there. It can be done by Google Translator also, very basic engine. Other than that, dedicated language translation models are also.
My second question is very technical in nature. We're talking about the ethical part of this using AI in valuation. While talking about ethical part, what I understand from different seminars and experts like you in last couple of months, what I understand is that the AVM, the automated valuation model, uses the black box calculation model. If I right? Okay.
Yeah.
Input is given to the black box and there's output. Okay. So the basic problem the valuers are facing, because the different models are training differently by different supervisors in different way. So it happens many times that the same question asked to different models and they will ask differently. This means, let me put it straight. If I using AI model for a specific purpose developed by you, say for me or for any valuer, so it is giving me some answer output in a different way. Okay. Now my presentation or my output has been reached by the banker, and he is using a different model. That means he will give a different answer. It may be happening. So how the modern or that latest generation of AI try to get this superimposed, और ये नहीं हो.
Right.
दूसरी बात जो कहना चाह रहा हूँ, जो मेन पार्ट कहना चाह रहा हूँ, when you are using black box calculation model, है ना, in a AVM, a part of transparency, which is a very important part in terms of valuation report preparation for valuation profession, कि हमको पूछा जाता है ट्रांसपेरेंसी आपने कैसे किया इस चीज, वो हमको बता सकते हैं, वर्बली और इन रिटन. तो ये चीज तो ब्लैक बॉक्स मॉडल में तो हमको पता नहीं चलता है बेसिकली, है ना. तो इस एनालिटिक्स को क्या कैसे हैंडल किया है और कैसे कर रहा है फ्यूचर, सोच क्या रहा है?
Sir, yeah, you are very much right, and this is, this restriction is not only there for valuation only. This is for us engineers also, and this is existing in all the fields basically. That is the limitation of neural networks when it comes to the core part of them. Like we are not having a very much transparent, picture how the decision is being. At the core, it is black box only, and we cannot do anything at present about it. All the neural networks, when it comes to deep learning, then when it comes to machine learning models, at the core, how they are creating the decision that we cannot control. What we can do, basically the process is divided in three parts. First is training part, where we are pre-processing the data. So as the models predictions are basically dependent upon the training and data. So one is we can work upon our data. Let's say in our data itself, all the valuation prices are like this, and some 2-3 are entered. They're wrong basically. They might be wrong. They're by mistaken very high or by mistaken they're very low prices, which as per their features they should not be like that, right? So what we can do is first we need to process the data, pre-process the data before feeding it to the AI. So in that itself will filter out all these abnormalities. So that has to be manually or some supervisor has to be there which will be processing the data. Once that processing is done, some sort of assurity is done. One thing. Secondly, once the training is done, then comes the evaluation part. So in evaluation, what we do while training the model, we authenticate how much is the accuracy of the prediction. So based upon the data, we divide the data in 2 or 3 parts. One is training, one is testing, one is validation. So in 3 subset we have divided. The testing data, the engine has not seen it. It is totally unknown data. Based upon that, it is going to make some predictions. So training data we are very well aware of. This is the final evaluation, and this is the prediction it has. Some error is there. How much is the error? That part we validate first on the training. And based upon that itself, we are going to say that like our model is 99.7% accurate or whatever the accuracy is. That is stated. And based upon that, final predictions will be there. So you can list in your statement itself like this is the accuracy of our model. Based upon that, like 0.5% inaccurate results might be produced. That will always be there. So we can work upon first data part, make it as much as clear as possible, and then validate it. That can be done. The middle part will still remain the black box. How the final decision is being made, because neural networks they are basically a digital world. They are playing in 10101001. Those sequences are there. They compute it digitally. So that is not directly understandable by us to state it for. I hope so.
Excellent, excellent. I got your point. One last question. It may be a short term. I am talking as a devil's advocate who are against AI. You can call a devil advocate who valuers are against AI. Say we're talking about a biased valuation. In our valuation profession, a common allegation against the valuers that this value is biased and he has given some inflated value or कम value का दिया, right? Allegation. So an allegation is made towards the value. So the same allegations can be made towards the AI also that it has been trained in a biased way.
No, sir. If the training has been done and you have once stated this is the accuracy of the model, that is rather listed as benefits of using AI. That it will take out the human biasing. Yes.
विश्वामित्र आया था विश्वामित्र निर्मल दास से विश्वामित्र
Okay, so thank you all. If there are not any more questions, thank you for patiently listening to me, and I hope I have not wasted your time.
एक्चुअली सीरीज ने कोई जरूरी काम चला गया, तो और किसी कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना प्लीज.
अच्छा वैसे एआई तो है नहीं, वैसे डॉट एआई करके कुछ है ऐप, उसमें हम हमारा रिपोर्ट करके उनको दे दें और आफ्टर सब प्रोसेसिंग टाइम इट जनरेट द आउटपुट, तो हमारे प्रॉब्लम नहीं करना पड़ेगा. अच्छा एआई का है क्या?
Sir, I didn't get your question. Doc AI is something you are talking about.
Yes, I am saying there some AI, suppose say X.ai app, and in that app I give all my inputs for the property, immovable property, yeah?
Okay.
And I tell that app, say, sir, you please generate a valuation report as per the PNG format or SBI format, to me, and he will give me after some pausing time, but that kind of report did it. ऐसा क्या है क्या?
Sir, that I'll have to check, sir. This particular app that you are mentioning, I have not used it.
Okay, sir. Please do check and let me know after the next webinar. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes.
Any other question, please?
Sir, I think Mr. Chandan is speaking, but your mic is on mute.
Mr. Rahul, thank you for your nice presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Any other question, please?
ज्वाइन ही नहीं कर रहा है इसमें हम पापा रिक्वेस्ट डाल रहे हैं इन करके इन डाल रहा है लगा रहे हैं
तो थैंक्स कौन देगा? चंदन मसाला बोल दो। नीता सिन्हा नंबर दो। नीता सिन्हा
नहीं सर, मैं कुछ बोलना नहीं चाह रही, मैंने थोड़ा लेट ज्वाइन किया, बट इस पर डिस्कशन जरूरी है। एआई अभी हमारे यहाँ तो पॉसिबल नहीं है क्योंकि इतना बायस डेटा अवेलेबल है कि आप एआई की मदद सिर्फ अपने लिए कर सकते हैं, अपनी के लिए, बाकी और कहीं अभी हम लोग वैल्यूएशन में तो नहीं कर सकते।
मोबाइल नंबर
ये मेरा ओपिनियन है।
Yes, ma'am. It will definitely take some time, some years, like to come in streamline process.
अभी तो हम लोग को डेटा ही सही नहीं अवेलेबल हो पा रहे हैं, और जहाँ तक ड्रोन का सवाल है वो हमारे जब ये एनपीए वगैरह होते हैं तब हमें साइट प्रॉपर्ली नहीं दिखाते हैं, वहाँ काम आ जाते हैं। वहाँ पे हमारा अगर प्रमाइसेस नहीं भी दिखाते हैं तो हम ड्रोन की मदद से हमें एटलीस्ट हमें अप्रोच तक पहुँच सकते हैं, वहाँ पे हेल्पफुल हो जाता है। बाकी अभी बहुत ज्यादा हम लोग जिस एरिया में है हम नहीं समझ सकते, हो सकता है साउथ में अच्छा हो गया हो सारा, लेकिन अभी हमारे इधर यूपी और आसपास के एरिया में तो बहुत बुरा हाल है। अभी हम लोग के डॉक्यूमेंटेशन ही प्रॉपर नहीं है, और बैंक्स बायस पहले ही कर देते हैं, हमें इतना वैल्यू चाहिए, तो वो सब अभी कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है। सब हम लोग डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं, एक्चुअल में सब लोग अपने हिसाब से ही काम कर रहे हैं। जिसको जैसा कंफर्टेबल हो रहा है बस वो हो रहा है। अभी हम एक फॉर्मेट पे भी नहीं पहुंचे। रिपोर्ट पे थोड़े से चेंज करके उठा के लोग कॉपी पेस्ट कर रहे हैं। बहुत, ये तो अभी हमारे यहाँ डेवलपिंग एरिया में इस टाइप की प्रॉब्लम्स होना बड़ा जेन्युइन है। हम पहले फैमिलियर होंगे तब जाके सही दिशा में बढ़ेंगे।
राहुल, आपको एक चीज मैंने शेयर करना
जो बात करो जो वोट है उसको देना।
हमारा ऑडियो ना? हेलो
जी सर। यस सर, यस सर।
मैं कुछ दिन पहले एक ट्रेनिंग सेशन अटेंड कर रहा था व्हिच इज रिलेटेड टू AI and valuation with respect to some national international standard. The international speaker was a very eminent speaker from Israel. He is an eminent speaker as well as valuer. And you know that Israel is one of the country जहाँ पर बहुत सारे मतलब देखा one of the masters है, इसको बोलते हैं software preparations and the best जितना पहली बार सुना मैंने Argus Corporation बोल के कोई एक बोला कि one of the best software preparator for this AI, तो पहली बार सुना। तो मेरे को इस बात के भी आश्चर्य हुआ, the gentleman who is there in this their country Israel, they are also very broad-fingered about the use of AI in valuation. वो लोग भी बहुत ज्यादा एक्साइटेड नहीं था बेसिकली। मैंने सेम सवाल पूछा मैंने, उन्होंने ये बात कहा जैसे अभी गीता मैडम को मेरी ये बहुत बेसिक स्टेज पे है और इस पे हमको बहुत सारे काम करना है, दोनों को क्रिएट करने के लिए अपना शुरू तो करना है। हम इसको पार्शियली तो यूज कर ही सकते हैं, हम
Definitely, sir. Definitely. And it will require these collaborative efforts actually. Such webinars, such seminars, or some sort of training to make it come in streamline. That is already good, sir.
आपका preparation बहुत सही था और I would like to have the PPT you have prepared. If you kindly wish very good and बहुत ही अच्छा है. Thank you very much.
I'll definitely do that, sir. Okay, sir. It was very nice. So if sir allows, now I'll take leave, sir.
Sir, एक मिनट. Sir, actually, our secretary and general secretary are not in a position to join, so they are supposed to give a vote of thanks to all the participants. So on behalf of both of them, but this is not my job. I like to thanks you for giving us time to be the chief speaker today. I like to thanks my vice president who has introduced our chief guest. I'll also like to thanks Rashmi Rath. Actually, he was a friend. He had posted in Kanpur. Basically, he's from Odisha. Since he has to go back to the Odisha, so he left. And today, Nirmal Das Mokhija, he was from Gurgaon. He was to introduce our guest speaker. But since last 4 days back, his mother had expired, so he could not join us. So Rishabh Mittal have replaced him. Rishabh Mittal is from Gurgaon. So I like to thanks all of them. There are some due to some change in program, so we have some disturbance. Still, then I like to thanks all the participants who are joined, who made this webinar successful. And I like to request Mr. Rahul to give some his expert opinion in future when will require. Thanks to you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.